Hello everybody, we are at the Berlin Raceway today. I am just walking around, kind of bored. We got here a little early, so everyone's up in the parking line back behind the grandstands. I'm walking over here in turn 1. They kind of have all the gates closed. I was hoping they'd have a few open to be able to sneak in a little early and get some little montage clips, but they got it all locked up, so I'm just going for a walk. I have never been back here. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk around. I think I got another 10 minutes before they're opening the gates up. So yeah, I've not been back here in a while. I think the last time would have been 2014 when they had the sprint cars here, the World of Outlaws. They parked them all up off turn 2 here when the track was dirt. We got party decks and things like that. I actually think they're gonna have the back stretch walking across open here, so we'll see if we can get a look off turn 2. It does look like the got a few things here. So I got turn 2 right there. But we got Lake Berlin as well. I've actually never walked up over here before. I've seen way back when on the Berlin Raceway's YouTube channel, they had some like the things for around the track, and one of which was Lake Berlin. So let's take a look here behind the trees. So yeah, back there looks to be a pretty decent sized lake. I don't think any race cars have ended up back there, but some kind of murky water looks to be. But that's right off turn 2 here from the racetrack, as you can see there in the distance there. So I do have my pit pass, so I don't think I should have a problem with trying to walk up here past the gate. I'm gonna check and see real quick what time it is. That might be helpful. It's 1:50. I think I can make it back in time, hopefully. Ooh, I see the racetrack. That's good. I don't see anybody back here. They have the SRX extra seating that they put in back here. We are up here on the turn 2 wall. So this is actually a pretty good look at the track. You can see all the way except down the front straightaway with all the buildings they have. But we can take a look here at the Berlin Raceway on the... As we can see here, got turns 1 and 2. Pit area is completely open. They have no one parked in here other than looks to be one lonely trailer. But otherwise, one of the flow racing cameras that they probably will have later tonight, one of the stands is right there. And take a look at one of the wheel and caution lights here. Nice view here of the back straightaway. So right here is one of the big areas of this track. Right in this area, especially on this patch that they have here, there's a bump. Can very much upset the car if you get too much down on the apron. The car will really hop over that. So you can use that to your advantage if you're tight, or if you're loose, you might want to stay up above it a little bit. But you can kind of see there's a good, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera as good, but there's a good amount of banking here, especially from this perspective. I'm going to step on back here a little bit more towards the back straightaway here so we can see the curve of it. They have some safety trucks that will probably be positioned here later. And I just want to say how much of a good job they've done in the past few years. This used to all hold all the dirt that they used to put on the track for the fall races when they put dirt over the track. They have flattened it out, and it used to be all dirty, messy. Well, now they have grass planted, and now when cars go off, it's not a dirty mess. Cars aren't bouncing around. But as you can see here, you know, with all that being graded, flattened out, with no wall, that backstretch is curved. And even if you try and find a straight point towards the infield, there isn't really one either. I mean, I would have to be way out here, and you can just see how curved that backstretch is. It's a constant turn, and somewhere right up in here it kind of kinks a little bit, so you go from arcing out a little bit to you kind of arc your way up, and then you kind of go straight, it kind of happens somewhere right up in here. But definitely you can go for a ride if you so choose off into the foam barriers out back there. So I guess I found a way into the track while they have everything else shut up. But yeah, there's a quick look at the track from the back straightaway perspective. So with that said, I'm probably going to get headed back. That way I can make sure we get in the pits, because as soon as we get in there, they open up the tire barn. We got to get tires. The supers are allowed to purchase 4 tires per race, so we got to make sure we get our set of tires mounted up and get all that sorted to make sure we get the tires that we want and can work with, as well as get the car out, get everything set so we're ready to practice. The pits are going to open up at 2, and practice will start sometime around 4. We get 30 minutes. It's just me and my dad, so I don't think we can really utilize much of practice other than go make kind of a little bit more of a 15-lap run or so to just kind of get myself a little more laps, get a little acclimated to the track. Then we have a pretty busy schedule as far as soon as we get done practicing. We have 10 minutes to get our qualifying tires on, our race tires, before we have to get in qualifying tech. So we pretty much, once our practice session's over, they release qualifying tires, we have to put those on and then hurry up and get in line for tech. So it'll be a very quick, snap of the fingers, so I probably won't get much footage around that time other than before we qualify. So we'll see when we get pitted, open the camera back up, get some more videos, but nonetheless there's a good view of turn 2 there behind us. So we're going to head back up, already halfway back now. Going to get back up in the truck and get ready to pull in and get all set up. So I think it's been about 2 hours since that intro clip there that I got. We are unloaded, as you can see. We got our tires, our race tires, all that's shaping up to be pretty good. We got about just about 20 minutes, 30 minutes until practice, so we're all ready to go. Our practice is just going to be try and get me some laps, run a handful. Seeing that we didn't complete the feature last time, we're on the same tires as the last race, so with that said, they're still pretty good. We can definitely get a good amount of laps out of them, and some quality laps at that. So we'll just see, just hopefully, I'm not really looking at lap time as anything too big to concern myself about, but just ultimately get good, consistent quality laps. And hopefully they'll be pretty consistent and faster than I have before. I know some of my lap times in the past, and as long as we keep working on either matching them or doing a little bit better and being consistent, that's all I can really ask for. So with that said, like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be kind of quick from practice to qualifying, so I probably won't get a clip in before then. Otherwise, we'll see y'all after that before we head out for the feature. So it's a beautiful day. The clouds have kind of disappeared. It is getting pretty warm. Cars are beginning to fire up, so probably gonna have to end it here, but we'll head into some practice and qualifying clips. Okay, so this is on the GoPro. Just sitting here on the grid thinking, maybe I could probably, give some wise words before this feature. So I'm just sitting here in the car. The Sportsman race is out there right now. So I am starting 13th. There was an 11 car invert, so I start behind Brian Campbell. So that's really motivating because, well, the fastest guy, the points leader, starts in front of me. So hopefully can try and follow him. I don't think it'll happen, but you know, if I can run my pace, which is kind of more like race pace, maybe I can stick with them and try and work through some guys that maybe aren't as good. But it's right, they are the best cars. They all got inverted in front of me. It's probably not the smartest thing to stick my nose in on any of them, but just try and follow them, pace with them, see what comes of it. Otherwise, there's 16 cars, so I'm 13, 16. So 75 lap feature, we got just about halfway last time, about 40 laps in. I ran a 38 lap run earlier today in practice, and I really think, you know, qualified pretty much 0.3 of a second faster this time, so I feel way better. Just gotta try and put it together for 75 laps, see what we can come away with. Starting 13th, I think there might be some guys that are gonna fall. I think we do a good job. So that's what we're looking to do. But nonetheless, we're getting ready to go. They have, looks like, 10 laps to go, so we'll get out there and have some fun.
Clear the outside, all clear the outside. Come on, spin it. High. Get ready. Go. Green. Outside, just stay on the outside. 24's coming around you on the outside. You're wide open, you're clear once he gets by you. Come on. Come outside. You're all clear. Next car's 5-6 back, so all clear out.
So we are back home after the race there at Berlin, and it went pretty solid. The day was overall pretty good for us. Just kept learning. Practice. I ran a long run. I don't think I'm going to show that in the video just because it was kind of boring. But I ran, I think it was like 30, nearly 40 laps. There's a yellow there for a minute, so it only ended up being like a 20 lap straight run. But I had 10 laps before that, and it was just kind of just to keep getting laps. And I came in, looked at lap times; they're really consistent. So I'm kind of what I wanted to do there, as far as just getting some laps in and get some more consistency and just feel better about that. And then moving forward into qualifying, it was kind of a big, thing to try and improve. Seeing that we were pretty far off the first time there, but I did not know what to expect and did not know how far to push the car going in the corner. I just tried to improve on that, in which I was able to. I ran about 2/10 faster this past time than my original first time there. So looking towards the future, that if I can maintain that kind of progress, and I can go another 2 to 1/10 and a half faster next time we show up, that I should be around, not mid-pack, but about the mid to back half of the pack, and actually be up in there in qualifying, which would be good. I'm not really looking to hit the invert because I don't really think I'm ready to get put up front, so I don't want that to happen, because I like kind of just being able to be behind the invert and follow the fast guys if at all possible, just like I did this past time, being behind Brian Campbell to start the race. So needless to say, we got to the race. I just mentioned I was starting right behind the invert. Those guys checked out in front of me, but I still had some cars, around where I feel like I should have been with, and was able to follow them. The race did not start very, very well. Obviously, the initial start, there was a spin, and then we had like 4 cautions in the first 10 laps. So it was pretty hectic. The one time going into turn 1, one of the cars out back had blown up, and they hadn't seen it or caught it, so we all went off into turn 1. There was oil on the bottom lane, and somehow, some way, when I got to the bottom, I slid up, was sideways, and I barely must have got outside of where the oil was, because then it just shot back across the track. Like, I had no control over the car whatsoever. And looking at the GoPro video, it's like I turned back to the left, but it was like I finally realized then that the car was coming down the track, because I felt like it was back to what happened at Kalamazoo. We were just going off in the corner. We had no control. We were just going to slide into him. But luckily enough, shot down, went through the grass. That's the only damage we got, was bent the underside of the airbox up in a little bit. No big deal. We'll just have to pound it back down, and it'll be okay. But otherwise, that was the last thing that happened. So just got to, and that was, like I said, in the first 10 laps. So we went about 60 or so laps green there at the end. Went good. I went 1 lap down, just kind of got caught behind a car, original lap car, and I just lost the carrot. There was like 3 cars in front of me. I just kind of lost them, and I was kind of using them, and that's the same thing I tried to do the first race, was just use the cars in front of me as like a pace that I could try and run and keep up with, and was doing good there. Like I said, lost them, started falling back. Leaders got around me, and I kept up with them for a handful of laps, then slipped up, had to regroup, calm myself down, got past again, kept up with those guys for a handful of laps, did the same thing. So just trying to learn the pace overall of the race, and what I need to do for myself, and felt overall pretty good. Made it to the end, made it 1 lap down, but made it to the end of the race and felt pretty good about that. So, once again, it's just keep learning this year. Hopefully have a better, year next year overall as a whole, but using some of the things we learned this year to apply next year will be nice, and, get us on a better foot, going into next year. So, overall it was fun, kept the car clean, other than, going through the grass wasn't fun, but, hey, it is what it is. Otherwise, one more race coming up, September 9th. That's going to be at Berlin. That's going to be our last race of the year. It's just not been the year we wanted. We're just going to, no extra curricular races after, like at Springport. Just we want to get our car put together, cleaned up, ready to go, seeing that we don't have any major work planned this year like we did last year. Got some work to do on the what we call street stock, potentially here coming up in the winter. So we want to be able to get the car all set and get working on that. So that'll be our last race of the year at Berlin on September 9th. So that will be our last opportunity for anyone that wants to come out. And thank you for watching this video, and we will hopefully see you there.